Alright YouTube, Mjolnir Man here. I apologize for the frizzy hair, but that's the price I pay for having curly hair when it's out raining. Anywho, it seems every generation has some wacky-ass story regarding any content of Christianity. I remember when I was 9, 11, or 12-ish, laughing at the incredible fakeness of the Sounds of Hell hoax. Then I later read an article on Snopes about it. There seems to be a new story that's really been pushed around for some time with conservative Christian circles. Essentially, what allegedly happened is a firefighter found a piece of the South Tower with a Bible fused to the iron rod, or the steel rod, a piece of a steel rod, that it would be used for infrastructure and stuff, and gave it to a photographer, and that photographer gave it to the 9/11 Memorial Museum about a decade afterwards. And I haven't really seen anyone make a video on it, which is surprising because I would figure with the amount of skeptics there are out there, no one has seemed to make a video on it. So I guess I'm gonna be brave here and jump in the cold water of the pool and make my video on my thoughts on the 9/11 Bible fused to the steel beam tale. I am very skeptical about it. It's unclear if it's real or not. Snopes doesn't know the answer. They've been trying to get a hold of this Joel Meyerowitz photographer for some time, but he never answers. Which leads me to believe that he might be afraid of choking up and then people being like, oh, it's a fake. I mean, look, this guy's donated this relic to a museum. There's going to be a large amount of outburst. The Sounds of Hell hoax was a little easier to avoid getting the blame laid on someone because it was kind of shrouded in secrecy. No one was quite clear where it came from, who gave the sound clip to Art Bell, etc., until decades later when people would have forgotten about it. With this one, we know someone, we know a name. The History Channel videotaped him for an interview for part of Remembering 9/11, so he's got a higher target on his head. And if he comes out and says, well, this is bunk, I made it up because I wanted fame or something like that, there's going to be a lot of Christian conservatives that are pissed off with him. And probably New Yorkers. Basically, if you haven't seen it, it's kind of a thin slab of steel with a piece of the Bible that has melted onto it. And the piece of steel itself looks arguably like half of a heart. There's a little too much symbolism there for me to just believe, oh, broken heart, this just fits perfectly with the Bible. It looks manufactured, in my opinion. The way the book has burnt, etc., it just doesn't look constant with paper actually burning. And I would think that if this had actually happened, the Bible would have been either A, completely vaporized, or B, left to essentially nothing, but that, you know, if you've ever burnt a piece of paper, it just leaves behind this really weak, breaks pretty much if wind hits it the wrong way, black, charcoaly material. And that's what I think this would probably be if it was actually the case. What I think may have happened was this guy got, maybe it's not even a slab of steel, it could just be a giant piece of concrete, and then he kind of burnt the Bible down and ripped it apart and put it on there and covered it up with like grout and shit. Possible. But another fishy thing is every time, the guy never divulged the fireman's name who found the relic, so-called, and gave it to him. And this guy's never stepped forward to corroborate his discovery of this relic. It just screams fishy to me. We don't have a name where this originates. We can't get a hold of this guy to see the story from his perspective. We're only getting one side of the story from this one photographer. And I believe it to be a fake because of the way the burn patterns are on the book. The way it's shaped. I don't see, any source of steel. There's never been like weight dimensions to kind of, or mass, to kind of conclude that this is part steel. And now he's got a lot of fame to his name, so he's probably never going to speak out on it. So I personally believe that this is false due to the lack of other people's involvements, him, keeping the information of the firefighter private, and him not getting in contact with Snopes after several attempts to try to get in touch with them. So that's my take on it. If you would like to comment down below, tell me what you think. That's about it, YouTube. Peace out.